Good morning and welcome to Dunedin, Florida. I'm Tampa Chris at Tampa Chris's EVs. And again, we're at another new station here. And we seem to be doing these quite frequently, which is great. Tampa Bay market is incredibly getting electrified at an incredible rate that we almost can't even keep up with. But we're at a real nice tourist and retiree destination here in Florida. As you know, the Tampa Bay metro market is basically three cities: Tampa, St. Pete, and Clearwater. This one is the first town north of Clearwater. So Clearwater is about 10 minutes that way. You go out to the beaches, downtown, all of that stuff. But I'm going to fire up the car here first on the station before I tell you more about the area. Um, and the one thing with Duke Energy, it's a Duke Energy site, just like the University of South Florida St. Pete location that I just reviewed last week in downtown St. Petersburg. They always seem to have different chargers. You know, you go to Circle K's here, they all have the ABB Terra 184, with the boost cables and 180 kilowatts at every station. You go to BP Pulse, they use the Trident 150s at every station. Okay. And the 7-Elevens use the smaller power units, but they use the same. And at Duke Energy, every time I go to a different place, there's different chargers, which it's a big surprise every time we go. So these are the HTC out of California units, 180 kilowatts. We got two CCSs over here. You got a CCS and a Chatamo over here. That's just wasting a stall. I don't understand why. They got a confined area. They'll only be able to put two chargers in here. One of those, the right side of that dispenser is down. And I'm going to show you in a minute after I get this fired up. A little confusing with the signage here, but really nice, real nice little neighborhood. I would love to live here. Property values in the last 10 years have gone through the roof. People come down for the winter, the Canadians, the American people, and they come for the spring training for the Toronto Blue Jays, which is only about 5 blocks that way, the stadium. You walk there. This is a very walkable area. You find a place to park and you walk everywhere. So let me get this going quick. We got the 500 amp cables with the Huber Schooner top of the line equipment here. I'm going to fire it up. EV Connect is the back end source for this. So I hit that. We take it off. Okay. One more tap. Let's put it in. One-handed, little tough. Newer unit. Okay, come on over here, Janet. Put it on the screen. This is nice. It's tension-based, but it's not a lot of tension-based ones. You're hearing the unit fire up. The fans are blowing strong on the side. It's got it on there. It's communicating with the vehicle. Usual procedure. Everything good there. I'm at about 39% state of charge. So we should see somewhere about 140, 150 maybe. Let's see here. Still connecting. Come on. Make me proud on the first try. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, got the click on my phone. Okay. 34 kilowatts. It's ramping up. 64. The other fans are going. Quite loud as far as fans go. Sounds like a jet engine here taking off. Sounds smooth, but it's louder than like the Alphatronic units, that are incredibly quiet and kick out a lot of power. Yeah, we're up to 132. I thought it was going to be 132, 130, 140 in that area. You got to keep. Why do they always make you keep tapping this to come back? Vehicles charging. We're at 41%. Already gained 2%. It's kicking up quick. 132. Great. I love the big screen though. The ABB 184 Terra unit's got that little tiny screen, and it works for what it is. But here in Florida, we have a lot of glare from the sun. I mean, here it is, 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's a lot of glare, but I can see this quite clearly, which is a good thing, So let me put it back one more time. So this thing's charging perfectly. And you can come on over here, Janet. Can you come on over here? Put it here so they can hear the fans. Pretty loud, this HTC unit. And you can see that it's an EV Connect, Duke Energy. All right, come on over here. We'll get away from the noise and confusion and stuff. Okay, Janet, come on out here, and let's take a picture of the units, not me. Thank you. I know everybody loves to see me, the viewers. Okay, so here's the confusing part. Okay, you stay here, Janet. We have 2 designated for disabled, with an extra spot in the middle. That's all good, right? But why would they put 2 spots when there's only 4? And why would they put CCS1 here on both sides? There should be one Chatamo. If they're going to do that, it should be one Chatamo and one CCS1. And they got now they have the regular charger dispenser over here, and it's got a Chatamo on it and a CCS. It doesn't make any sense. I was going to park here, but am I breaking the rules or the etiquette? Or, I think a little signage snafu here. It should be vice versa. That Chatamo should be on one side over here and the second CCS. So a little confusing, but it's not a bad confusing thing, Duke Energy, I'm highly critical of them, but they are putting in stations, but they're not maintaining the ones that are currently in the ground and in the wild. I don't know if it's them. I don't know if it's an outside maintenance company. I don't know if they're just selling their name for these chargers and people are putting them in. I don't know their process. And that's one thing I want to find out, because they're the power company. They got to get power right? Come on. But these are brand new units. I looked on PlugShare. Nobody's reviewed them. There's no picture. So I'm going to take a bunch of pictures. I'm going to put it on. Beautiful area here. Main Street. Look, people walking their dogs everywhere here. When we're done shooting this video, we're going to walk down and go to a nice little cafe and have beautiful breakfast and everything. This is what you think of old Florida. Like I said, everybody wants to live here. Why don't you shoot over there, Janet? People on golf carts. This is a golf cart type area. You can drive on the streets. People going down to get breakfast, going around the area, all that stuff. So there's a lot of places to eat. Let's go back over here, Janet. Like I said, 2 brand new units. They're here. They're in the ground. They work. That's the big thing. The infill in the Tampa Bay metro market is incredible. There's a plenty of chargers on all the highways, 75, 275, the Veterans Expressway, the Selman Expressway toll roads. There's chargers right off the exits everywhere on that with the big boys. BP Pulse, Ayana, Walmart's building out like crazy. 16 stations, 16 Walmarts are getting charging in the Tampa Bay area. But your Duke Energy plug and play are putting it where the little places, the little nooks and crannies. This parking lot is tiny. It's a little cut through with a little tiny building, and they got 2 brand new chargers in here. This is a place where Ayana and BP Pulse and everybody else is not going to put chargers. So that's the good thing about this, and they're starting to catch up. I think they were a little embarrassed by Florida Power and Light, because they went all in on DC fast chargers. Not in this area, because they don't serve this area. And now Duke Energy's playing catch up. And everybody says, why are so many chargers going in the Tampa Bay area? Because there's a gazillion electric cars here. It's like Southern California. I drive around, I see them every single day, okay? And not just one here and one there. I saw drive up a major artery, you see 10 in the first 10 minutes you're on the road. So cars are everywhere. People are using the chargers, okay? And you think with all these new chargers out there that they would be nobody here, because it would just dilute the few people that were going to the chargers. I see people everywhere. This one's more of a hit or miss. It's new. People don't know it's here yet. It's off season for the tourists, but there's still people everywhere, and the locals will be using this. People come down from Canada for spring training, for the winter season. And like I said, I'm sitting there smelling bacon being cooked here somewhere. So there's eateries everywhere. Big time area here. Love Dunedin, Florida. So once again, we got everything fired up here. Good day out here, beautiful weather. This is why we live in Florida. EV Connect. I'm a big fan of EV Connect, because every time I go to one of these, I never have a problem with the app. The app is great. You just fire it up. It goes. It took us it was about 15, 20 seconds for the handshake to finish up, which is not bad. Not bad at all. Duke Energy needs to be a little better with the signage. We brought that up also at the college in downtown St. Pete, USF St. Pete, how they had like parking signs there that you had to pay, and that's not really the case. And, they seem to clean this up a little bit. There's another Duke Energy charger that we've been to at the library, which is about 8 or 10 blocks that way. and it's brand new. And they use the HTC units too, but they're using the old technology, 150 kilowatt ones. And we've been there, and I look on PlugShare, they have not maintained it. They work for like 41 kilowatts. You know, the people aren't pulling 80 and 90 and 100 or 125. They're pulling 30, 25, and we went there, and the same thing happened to us. So I'd like to see a better job by Duke Energy, or how they're doing their whole plan here. Are they selling their name, the signs, and you do it yourself? But, you know, I feel if they put their name on it, they need to stand behind their product. And like I said, this one's been open a month or less, and this side's down right here. It tells you on the beautiful screen. This side's up, this side's down. So right now we have two CCS connectors that work and a CHAdeMO that nobody uses. That's a waste of a stall. Get that off of there. Put another CCS on there. Things are changing. I'd rather see them put a NAX cable on there than a. I never see the Leafs. They sold all these Leafs. The Leafs people charge at home. They only can charge you 50 kilowatts, and you can charge for probably 8 or 9 kilowatts on your level 2 charger in your garage. I never see the Leafs out in the wild, and if I do, they're not at the Chargers. And I'm at the Chargers 2 to 3 times a week, checking things out and this and that and everything else. So only negative thing I have to say, in a nice rural community like this, where you have houses literally right over there, you got townhomes, you got little tiny old houses that have been redone, that's pretty loud. I know they put a hedge there. There's somebody's, all the equipment. Come over here, Janet. I was wondering where they hid the transformer. It's a 500 kVA right there. Okay, nice thing, they hid it behind all of the things, and here's your switch gear right to the left of it. So everything's set. So these are all in one unit with the power bricks in there, just the switch units and the transformer. Nicely laid out, though. They put nice bushes all the way around hiding it. Took down a big tree that was probably 100 years old. That was smart, I guess. I don't know. Probably tick off a bunch of people for that. But this is actually the old City Hall property. That building used to be the City Hall. We can see the houses over here. Show them over there, Janet. Bungalows turned into little restaurants, things like that. Real cute, nice little area. But it's 180 kilowatt charging. Good stuff here. I mean, we're leaving here. We're going down to Bradenton. The Iona site opened up. And because the Iona site opened up, but that's at a Wawa's, big time, new, this, that, everything. This is not about amenities. This is about parking your car and charging it, going to get something to eat, going for a walk. You know, the locals are out, the tourists are out, all that sort of thing. Great area. Great area. Let's take a look here. I got it on my app. Let's see if it's still on there. Still charging. Let me see what my speed is still. As you can hear on my microphone, how loud this is. Nothing's broken. It's on both sides, too. That's the funny thing. Just like all the other chargers. Okay? You have to keep resetting it. I hate that. Perfect. Your vehicle's charging. Looks like all modern software here. Charging time, 10 minutes, it looks like. And it's still at 103 kilowatts at 65%. Put it almost in 21 kilowatts. Very happy with that. Very smooth charger. Besides the noise, I mean, and it's not deafening or anything. I'm just comparing it to the latest and greatest equipment out there. And cable management is real good. When we were at the Duke Energy site down there with the Terra 184s at the University of South Florida, St. Pete, they have the one where you're pulling it, and they have the accessory on the side with the weight, the counterbalance. And you can feel you pulling it, and you feel it going. And it was real tough. This is like more like spring-loaded. Very nice. So I do like the cable management. It's got the really nice cables, the Huber Schooners, which are top of the line, 500 amp, so the car can take the juice. You know, the big screens, good for advertising, all that stuff. This is green up here, and I see green over there. I don't know if it turns blue or whatever when you're using it, but yeah, it's a Duke Energy side. Very happy. Very nice stuff in a great area, you know, where it needs it. Infill, local communities. This is not a big city. Dunedin's a town. It's a tourist town. People coming here and things of that nature. You know, look down the sidewalk, Dan, all paver sidewalks here. Okay. Old style. A lot of these homes have been redone that are 100 years old. Concrete block, little small. nothing little houses and stuff that have been redone, added onto and stuff that are worth a ton of money right now, believe me. And you just see everybody walking by, walking dogs, riding bicycles. These are all the locals here. And you can see Main Street over here. You can see the awning out front, places to eat. And that goes down for about a quarter of a mile to the water. It only gets more dense and more places to eat, shop, all of that, and people and ice cream shops. And, you know, everybody's happy here. Nobody's flipping the bird at anybody, believe me. Real good stuff here. Really good stuff. That is actually a dog neighborhood pet store right there. Yeah, that big building right there. So this is obviously a big pet place. Get treats, get anything you need for dogs, cats, fish, whatever. Most of the stores here and everything are all independent restaurants. There's no Outback Steakhouse here or anything like that. Everything's independent, one-offs. People come back to year after year. You know, they read reviews, things like that. And now we have charging for the people that want to come here. You don't have to go outside the area. The closest CCS charging to this downtown little Main Street is a BP Pulse that's up on 19, which is probably 5-6 miles away, maybe 7. Okay, so BP Pulse. So there's not a lot of, there's the car dealerships, and I never include the car dealerships. I try to. I work at a car dealership, as you know, and I try to include the car dealerships. And you go there and you get terrible charging, and they charge stupid amounts of money, and the equipment's always broken. So I don't consider the car dealerships. And some of the ones here in Tampa Bay Market have some really nice Charge Point Plus Expresses and some top of the line stuff. Yeah, but they're charging 55, 59 cents and then $2 activation. I'm out when I can drive a mile down the road and have BP Pulse or these or whatever, you know, which make a big difference. I didn't look at the price. I think this one's 42 cents a kilowatt, which is not bad at all. 42 cents is good. I charged that Florida Power and Light down in Bradenton the other day, and that's 30 cents all in taxes. Nobody's going to beat that. That's the cheapest network in the country. They're only here in Florida, though. So if you want to charge them, you got to come here. But they're putting stations in like crazy. And I enjoy going. They partner with ChargePoint on a few of them. There's 4 or 5 that have a different color on their map, on their app. And you go there, they have the ChargePoint, and you use the ChargePoint app or the Florida Power and Light. And a lot of people complain on the apps. I'm an app guy. I don't care. I like having a record and stuff. This one, I don't see a pay terminal. You have to use the EV Connect. And that's just the way it is. And I'm looking at it here. There's no pictures online, just the original one of this unit. And that was from 3 months ago. And there's no reviews. So getting a great charge here, smelling the bacon, great area, tourist town, Toronto Blue Jays people. Even though I got my Tampa Bay Rays hat to let everybody know this is Tampa Bay. But a lot of the people in the area follow the Blue Jays because of the spring training. Over 30 years here in Dunedin, the Toronto Blue Jays. And they came within a pitch or two of winning the World Series against the Dodgers, you know, the big boys. So, and like I said, you'd park in one of the garages. They got a couple of city-owned garages or on the street or pay in somebody's yard, and you walk 5 blocks. It's like going to Wrigley Field or Fenway Park, where they don't have the big parking garage infrastructure and stuff. And you walk to the stadium 5, 6, 8 blocks. It's pretty cool. It's a great game. You know, and I go to the Yankee games at Steinbrenner Field, but that's more commercialized. This is more, and they put a lot of money in this stadium. It only holds like 5,500, 6,000 people. First class experience. Great. Everybody just walks in, walks out. Kind of cool. But just wanted to give you this review. Here's a nice family coming down the road here. We won't film them. They got kids with them and stuff. But everybody's out. You hear kids screaming and stuff. Jenna, put it one last time out here on the Chargers. There's the trolley going by. Come on over here, Janet. Let's put it on the Chargers so people can see. And you see how we got the 2, and it's a very small parking lot. Very small. You just have a couple of spaces. I almost wish that they put 2 more Chargers over here. It looks like they have the room if they want to do some expansion. But once again, this one's down. They need to get out here and fix it. Is this going to be down for a day, or is this going to be down for a month? There is units in Zephyr Hills over by Wesley Chapel in the northern suburbs of Tampa, okay, that have an EV Connect Duke Energy site. And it's been broken for like 2 months. They haven't fixed it. They sort of fix it. One works, one doesn't. The screen doesn't come on. I read all the comments on PlugShare, and I'm like, what is going on? Get with the program, you know? So, but this thing is still cranking. Hearing the fans. It's the only thing we hear that's loud is the fans. And that is one of the louder fans I've ever heard. I don't know if it's the unit, the way it is. It doesn't sound broken or anything. It's charging seamlessly here. So it makes a big difference. So just wanted to give you this beautiful Sunday morning, Dunedin, downtown Dunedin, Florida, just north of Clearwater. Everybody knows where that is. 10 minutes and you're in downtown Clearwater on the waterfront here, right on the waterfront of the Gulf of Mexico/America. And we're going to go have breakfast, and then we're going to head down to Bradenton, the charge on the new Iona station that just got commissioned and turned on 2 days ago. So we're excited about that. But that's in a Wawa's. That's Iona. It's in a major downtown core of Bradenton. This is a country little town here just north of Clearwater. Good stuff, really good stuff. Once again, I'm Tampa Chris. Please like, put comments in the bottom. Love to see where the people that watch and put a comment in. My wife suggested, tell us where you're from. Are people from Manitoba, Canada watching me, or somebody from Orlando, Florida, or New England and Vermont, or Texas, or all over the place? I just love to know. Just a little feeder out there. And like and put comments and all that good stuff. High five each other. Just spreading the good word on electrification of Tampa, the way things are going. A little slow in the sales right now of electric cars because the federal mandate 7,500's gone. I think it's going to rebound big time starting in January, so I'm not too worried about it. And all these chargers keep going into the ground, and we're going to spread the word with you. Tampa Chris from Dunedin, Florida, saying have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.